Hey everyone, welcome to the channel and to this demo of my beautiful brand new Fibenare guitars David Beebe model. First though, if you're new here, you like my playing and some of the content I make, think about liking the video, maybe even hitting that subscribe and bell button. That would mean a lot to me, so thanks in advance. So Fibenare guitars, if you don't know, they are a small family-run luthier based in Budapest, Hungary, and they are making just some of the most incredible playing, sounding, and looking instruments out there today. Everything is entirely handmade in-house, and other than the tuning pegs, I literally mean everything. So obviously all the woodwork is done by hand and eye, but they design and wind their own pickups, they machine their own bridges and hardware, and even design and make these unique cases. It's truly amazing stuff. So this is my latest Fibenare guitar. It's my artist SKU on their basic jazz model, and it's been several years in the making now due to the obvious pandemic craziness and lockdown restrictions, but my goodness has it been worth the wait. Well, the thinking behind this build is that historically I've always been an S-type player, but ever since I've been a teeny little BB, I've always loved the aesthetic and tone of the traditional single cut LP style guitar. But at the same time, I've always struggled with the physicality of actually playing them. Well, the Fibenare Basic Jazz fixes all that and more and goes way beyond taking the idea and the spirit of the single cut guitar to a whole other level. So let's run through the specs and then I'll demonstrate some of the tones. We've got a solid single piece mahogany back, which is lightweight and resonant. On top of that, we have the most incredible, stunning single-piece maple burl top, finished in this marine tortoise ocean blue that Fibenare are quite known for. Absolutely stunning. It has a rosewood neck, which creates this gorgeous aesthetic contrast between the unstained satin finish of the mahogany back and the neck itself. The neck's also satin finish, so you have this really smooth, comfortable to play feeling behind the guitar. Actually on the back as well, we've got this really cool neck set design where the carve kind of takes off some of that blocky heel. Not sure if you can see that there, but it's super comfortable to get up into the higher register. I'll cut some B-roll in if not, maybe on that camera. Yeah, it's super nice. It's ebony fingerboard with a compound 10 to 14 inch radius. We've got medium jumbo frets, 22 of course, trapezoid inlays and the flame maple binding on the neck and on the body as well. 2 humbucking pickups, and these are a custom tweaked version of the ALV63 Fibenares. It's got a regular 3-way switch there, and it's wired up to a fairly standard set of 4 knobs. So we have 2 volume, 2 tone, and the only thing different about this here is that we have a push-pull for splitting the humbuckers into single coils. There's 3-per-side vintage Goto Keystone tuners. We have the wraparound Fibenare bridge, traditional Fibenare brass nut, and of course it comes in Fibenare custom made cases. And like I said earlier, this fixes all of those issues that I've had historically with the Les Paul style guitar, most notably the neck angle, so it doesn't feel like the right hand's out here and the left hand is back here. And it's also got the volute to sort of reinforce the neck headstock join, get rid of some of that fragility. And then other little things that we've tweaked onto it. So I've got my custom neck carve profile, which for the kind of faster legato stuff is super nice. I should really mention the weight. It's actually, for a solid piece of mahogany, there's no chambering or anything. It's really quite light. The whole guitar comes in at just 8 pounds, which for a solid piece of mahogany on an LP style guitar is really sweet and lightweight, but it's also incredibly resonant, as you're about to hear. And all of this comes together to make what is, for me personally, the dream perfect single cut guitar. Now, before I plug it in and demo the electric tones, I just want to try to show you what utterly blew my mind the first time I picked up this guitar. The resonance and the piano-like sustain and clarity between the strings in particular is just awesome. Now, I did actually capture this on camera the first time in my Budapest apartment, but it was just the iPhone and the sound is obviously not as great. So what I've done is mic'd up just the actual unplugged electric guitar here with a decent mic capsule on top of my trusty Zoom H6. And I'm going to try and demonstrate some chordal playing and particular chord melody that is going to hopefully get some of this across. I do hope it translates because it's so amazing. But yeah. If it doesn't, I'll just axe all this and you won't see it, and I'm just talking to myself, rambling now, so let's do it. And that is so incredibly lush in the room. I seriously hope it translates. But what's so incredible about this to me is that the balance between the strings. Sitting here in the room, I can hear every note in the chord in these quite dense, complex chords. It's so good. And even if I just play some like kind of cowboy chords. Okay then, so let's plug this thing in and demo some of the tones we get from the various pickups and switching options. I'm going to focus on the clean and lower gain tones here, as you've already heard some of the more higher gain lead sounds on the intro jam. So I'm starting with the neck pickup with the volume and tone on 10, and I've got a fairly warm but lush kind of clean sound, and I get this. Put it down to the middle pickup, which is a bit of an unsung hero, really. I do like the middle pickup tones on guitars. Get this. And then finally the bridge pickup. Staying with the clean sound, I'm going to pull up on the neck tone. That's going to split the pickups. We get this tone. Let's go for more of a rounder, warmer jazz tone now. So I'll switch to more of a broken up bluesy push tone now. I really couldn't be happier with how this guitar turned out. It sits in that sweet spot. It's like comfortable and familiar to play physically, but maintains an aesthetic and a tone that comes from that other side of the solid body family tree. I am totally in love with it, and I'm sure you'll be seeing it a lot more on the channel. Being a small boutique custom builder, Fibinares are usually built to order, which means that there is usually somewhat of a wait time, although obviously not as long as this one took outside of the craziness of the pandemic. But it can be anywhere from like 6 to 7 months, say, or maybe a bit longer, which by the standards of other builders, I think is pretty good. It's astonishing how fast and efficient the guys work over there with such traditional methods. But even that wait time is part of the process, because you're kind of involved along the way and you get to see the stages of the guitar and its various stages of completion. And I can look back over the last several builds, and I've got these like photo albums that act as like a diary or a build history, and it's really cool to see it emerge of this piece of art from like tree and wood into finished instrument. It's an amazing process. So I'd highly recommend that, if possible, everyone at least once in their guitar playing life goes through that design, build, and wait, and worry and anticipation process and excitement that comes from it. However, you can find stock of pre-existing Fibinares in dealers worldwide. In fact, this one actually had a twin made for this year's NAMM 22 show. It wasn't exactly identical, a few differences. But yeah, if you are interested in getting something like this, then I know that Angel City Guitars in LA, currently, as of filming of this anyway, have a version of this guitar, very, very similar. And thanks to you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the demo. If so, I'll politely ask you to consider once more liking the video. And if you want to see the longer travel vlog video where I collect the guitar and take you behind the scenes at the Fibenare workshop, then subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when that goes live. So I'm just going to close out the video with a few raw improv takes over that funky backing track again from the start, which by the way is from Jam Tracks, and I'll link to them in the description. Also in the description you'll find links to the Fibenare website, to Angel City Guitars where you can buy this version of this if you wanted to, and you'll find links to my website. I've got tutorials, lessons on there, and also Solo, my guitar app for fretboard visualization. You can find all that stuff linked in the description below. And until the next video guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.